your 21 Alive First Alert forecast.
Well, throughout your Friday, temperatures back into the mid-80s, some sunshine throughout the afternoon. Probably the biggest thing that you'll see compared to yesterday is less humidity. It will not feel that muggy outside. With that said, we are watching for the chance of isolated storms this evening. In terms of the outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, most of 21 country in that level 2 of 5 risk. So in terms of just looking at the risks as themselves, this is a lower risk compared to yesterday. Now, of course, we know how yesterday went. Things can be different, but well, let's talk about what's going on right now. The first rounds of storms, really where the storms are expected to be the strongest, are across southern Indiana into parts of Kentucky, southern Illinois, and they've already had one round of storms, some of which stronger than initially anticipated. We don't know how that will impact the redevelopment of storms this afternoon because there'll be another line of storms that develops around St. Louis, will move across Illinois into parts of southern Indiana and into western Kentucky. We don't know how this first initial round of storms will affect the next round. So that is one of the unknowns when it comes to watching for our chance of severe weather later tonight. Now, most of those threats also significantly lower. Tornado possible, but we're on the lower end of that. In terms of both hail and winds, there's only a significant risk for hail, but again, that looks to be areas south of Fort Wayne, and winds upwards of about 60 miles per hour within those storms. So we're not really talking about as bad of a system as what yesterday could have been here locally, but still have to at least watch out. So after that first round of storms passes throughout Kentucky, as we go throughout the later portions of the afternoon, we start to see some of those initial storms firing off right around St. Louis. It'll start to gain strength, really form a line across Illinois before entering into Indiana. In some cases, models are suggesting that we could see that northward extent just reach to about south of Fort Wayne. So pretty much anywhere south of Fort Wayne does have probably the best chance to see any kind of storm activity tonight. Timing-wise would look to be past about 8, 9 p.m. with those storms exiting by about 9, 10 p.m. So it wouldn't be a long-lived round of precipitation either. But any of the strongest storms will stay south of about Indianapolis through Cincinnati and down into Kentucky. So we don't have to worry about the worst of the storms. But again, we do know how the models act and really can't take into effect what the environment looks like and how the environment will act with those storms, just like yesterday. In terms of dew points, it's not going to be as humid today. Those dew points sitting anywhere between about 50, maybe 60 degrees. Yesterday, we were almost as high as about 70 degrees for those dew points. So we're working with a lot less in terms of the moisture, which is a factor that could ultimately decide whether or not we see that severe weather. So in terms of confidence within this, after yesterday, really not that confident in it just because of given how the environment looks today after how good the environment was yesterday for severe weather. We really didn't end up with anything. We do know for certain the weekend looks nice, partly to mostly sunny skies, temperatures hovering right around 70 degrees both days. It'll be a bit of a gusty day tomorrow. Gusts can get as high as about 30 miles per hour. They'll start to calm down as we get back up into the 70s for Sunday. The rest of that First Alert 7-day forecast, well, follows the same temperature trend, if not even a little bit cooler. We're dry to start the week, a couple rain shower chances between Tuesday and Wednesday, but highs only into the low to mid 60s throughout the middle of next week. So we're in for a little bit of a cooler stretch here after ending the week at 85 degrees.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get a lot hotter, and then now I'm seeing a high of 63 on Wednesday. What is that?
Yeah, it's a classic Indiana weather, that's for sure. 85 to end one week. We're going to be in the low 60s next week.
Yeah, after living here for almost 23 years, I can tell you that's pretty much what it is normally.
Yeah, exactly. Classic Indiana. At least we should not have much to worry about in terms of any severe weather.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael.